What's up with y'all, man? We got another video. We got NFL teams spent a lot of money this offseason. Is it really Tua's time in Atlanta, man, by the NFL? Well, let's see this, man. Hold on. We might skip a couple parts, I ain't gonna lie. But let's see what they got for us, man.
Tua time has officially started in Atlanta. And now Michael Penix Jr. is on the clock. Hear what the Falcons said today about a battle of lefties that will be the talk of their summer. The dust has settled on the free agency frenzy where Cam Ward got a whole lot of new friends, but there is still business to be done. Cam Wolfe joins us tonight with the latest around the league on what comes next. We know Travis Etienne is now back home in New Orleans. And if you think I've got my running backs confused, Travis will be here tonight to reintroduce himself as a Saint. Welcome inside with the Insiders. Alongside Mike Garafolo, I am Tom Pelissero. It feels like we packed a month into the past 5 days. Free agency was wild. We had trades. And there is still one big hanging chat out there right now in Philadelphia. That is the future of Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown. It remains up in the air as Philly works through exactly what to do with their star wide receiver. Brown due $29 million in cash in 2026. Major cap consequences if the Eagles deal him before June 1st. Mike, I give you the floor. Where do we stand?
Tom, they've had conversations. They've continued to have conversations.
Everybody has
some folks in Philly are like, "Will you stop? He's not getting traded." Okay, then why are they talking? They've had plenty of conversations. My understanding, talking to sources informed with the talks between Eagles and other teams, is they've had momentum toward deals in recent weeks and days and over this period of negotiating. They haven't completed those trades. They haven't resulted in an agreement on a trade for various reasons. They just haven't come together. There's a lot of stuff going on with the Eagles. In fact, the Dallas Goedert part of this whole thing is a big piece of it because Dallas Goedert had a void, and if it triggered, it was going to be a $20 million cap hit to the Eagles. That got pushed once. As my man Zach Berman in Philly reported, it got pushed again, now till Monday. That's a part of it because Goedert and Brown are sort of interconnected. The Eagles can't pay Goedert if they're keeping Brown, and they can't take both cap hits. So this is going to continue to go over the weekend. I don't sense real momentum right now on this, but I'm sure Howie's going to continue to have conversations. I shouldn't say make calls because he's been receiving calls. Have conversations on A.J. Brown over the weekend.
That's what I'm saying. If he's receiving calls, that means he's not looking for nobody. They just calling him.
He's still an Eagle right now. Will he be? At this point, I don't know. I'm tired of guessing. We'll let you know.
The reason June 1st looms large in this is because if you trade him after June 1st and any future cap hits beyond 2026, those stay out in 2027.
But that's what I'm saying. If we wait all the way to June 1st, it's like we'll have so many teams that already have their players. The draft already hit. Like all the players that we could have got for him will already be settled on what team they're on. So I'm saying, like, come on, bro, let's be real. Only way we trade him is if we don't trade him before, is if we get mad draft picks or we don't get enough people in the draft that we want, something like that, and we actually get like a big time, maybe they get a team gets an extra receiver, and one of the big play receivers doesn't want to play for that team anymore or something like that, or they feel like they're going to get replaced and they go to a different team.
Trade him before then, there's no way to use.
Or a team just isn't satisfied with where their team's standing at. They don't feel like they have enough.
It was like with free agents or guys you cut using a post-June 1 designation, it matters when you trade him. So a lot of moving parts and important timeline as we move forward. The Ravens had a timeline on Lamar Jackson, and once again, they blew through it. No extension yet for Lamar, but they did do another restructure on
I'm going to be honest with Lamar, bro. I hope he has a better season than last season, bro, because that shit was embarrassing. That nigga had 100. He barely even hit 100 yards consecutively.
Contract. It's complicated, but in essence, he still makes the entire $52 million he is owed this year.
This is like the old highlights, too, because this is Jalen Phillips right here, bro. That's what I'm saying. This is old highlights.
It's complicated, but in essence, he still makes the entire $52 million he is owed this year, but his cap number drops by almost $40 million in 2026, rises to almost $85 million in 2027, so some work to do there. They still had some maneuverability in free agency, especially after that whole Max Crosby thing fell through. Officially now, landing Trey Hendrickson, another pass rusher, on a 4-year contract worth $112 million. Trey Hendrickson, Max or not, fired up to be in Baltimore.
Like when you're talking about the AFC North, there's history. It's
I never seen
it's a nasty brand of football. It's punchy in the mouth, and to be on the other side of the ball and experience that, I'm so excited to be in the building and experiencing it now. So it's a phenomenal opportunity for me. Phenomenal opportunity for my
Everybody
family.
says that, bro.
There's nothing but class here. State-of-the-art facilities, great talented players, and an awesome coaching staff that's like-minded in winning and being a brand of football that we all.
I don't be like interviews because it's just so like
and this being
scripted damn near, bro. You feel me?
The Ravens had themselves a trade that fell through. The Texans had themselves a trade that was culminated. David Montgomery heading to Houston from Detroit. The Texans have not been shy about trading for and signing veteran running backs at a time where others say, well, maybe they're at that point where things might start to fall off. And David Montgomery doesn't feel like things are falling off.
Yeah, interview. Okay, bro.
Just kind of seeing him progress as like a rookie to who he is now, and seeing like him having his highs and his lows, and him.
Give me a second. Oh, this is getting mad. Let me see how like this more. All right. All right, that's good. Niggas can't see and shit. I mean, wow. Shit was in my ear and shit. All right, let's see.
Being able to come back as
that's me, Montgomery.
And David Montgomery doesn't feel like things are falling off.
Cut you off on something.
Just kind of seeing him progress as like a rookie to who he is now, and seeing like him having his highs and his lows, him still being able to come back as somebody who can be mentally relentless and still go to work every day, seeing it from afar. It's like, it's a thing to see. And I think he can handle it all. And that's somebody I want to play with and, be able to go to war with, to somebody who's battle tested, who's been through it all, but who's able to handle the worst too. I ain't gonna lie, he a dog. You can kind of tell like the morale and kind of that both
probably the most like,
and that Coach Ryan brings to the table.
I ever heard someone say to a teammate
look at yourself like, dang, if I ever had an opportunity, I would love to play.
Well, actually, you might have played with him in the Pro Bowl. Or I think
Montgomery telling reporters he feels like he's in his prime right now. Michael Pittman Jr. feeling like he's in his prime, and the Steelers paying him like it as part of the trade to Pittsburgh.
He got like
after that signing of Alec Pierce in Indianapolis. Pittman got a new 3-year, $59 million deal. You see him signing it there next to the helmet that he'll be wearing in Pittsburgh. He met the media.
Or it just means like the helmet as in
his vision, team. Like for me, like as like a player, like in his offense and like everything that he thinks is going to happen, and that's got to be classified.
I keep getting them mixed up. I get Pearson.
It just got me fired up, and
I literally thought that he was the number 14
of, football.
You feel me?
Like just really that.
But I know number 14. He was going crazy last year. One hand catch
gritty,
gritty.
Like I think that I just fit in perfectly here.
Oh, he's talking bullshit.
Lots of big deals being signed and also some very small ones. Tua Tagovailoa inking a 1-year minimum contract. The Dolphins will pay him the rest of the $54 million that he's owed in 2026. Next up for Tua, an off-season quarterback battle with Michael Penix Jr.
I say, bro, honestly, I remember I was at the barbershop too. They were talking about this too. I feel like Tua, like, he might have a good season, bro. I don't feel like it's going to be both of them. So I feel like either Tua's going to go crazy or Michael Penix going to go crazy. But I feel like Tua actually going to have a breakout year because I feel like everybody's down to him. You know what I'm saying?
Here's GM.
He'll have some new receivers to throw to. So I feel like he'll be pretty decent. But I don't know who's going to start.
for Tua coming in here, he knows he's coming in to compete, just like Michael knows that he's coming in to compete. And everybody, quite frankly, not just those two at the quarterback position, but everybody's coming in to compete. There's no starters right now, and we're excited to have Tua, but we're excited to have all the players that we were able to get this free agent class.
But then again, like I said, I don't feel like they got Tua for no reason. So I feel like he's probably he's more likely to start. Because I don't think they just got Tua, paid him all this money just for him to sit on the bench. I don't feel like that's. But then again, that is the same thing for a lot of.
This is our thought process, or do you feel like?
But I just don't feel like you'll trade for a quarterback.
Or is it just the same as you're bringing in another defensive tackle? This is what we do.
Yeah, good question, Josh. How we do everything, man. It's
one of the players.
Yes, to answer your question, yes. Yeah, we talked to him. Kevin talked to him. I talked to his agent. When we knew that this was the direction we're going, it's just,
and they lost you
don't want to blindside somebody, and that's just how we operate, right? We want to have open conversations and communication, and I feel like we did that in regards to Michael and Tua.
I don't know if Ian Cunningham meant it this way, Mike, but there's a couple things he says there that stands out relative to how the Falcons' quarterback situation was handled over the past couple of years. Number one, we don't blindside people, which is what happened to Kirk Cousins 6 weeks after he signed a massive contract, and then they went and drafted Michael Penix Jr. Two, we don't want to be in the business of handing out starting jobs in March, which, if you remember, Raheem Morris, even last year, repeatedly said there is no competition. It is going to be Michael Penix Jr. When you size up this competition, Mike, what do you see?
Nigga just repaid it. So
well, their blind side is the same side. It's the right side. So that helps you in that your entire offense will be working with a left-handed quarterback, no matter who's taking the reps between the two of these guys. Look, Tom, even with Kyler Murray, it's a similar situation in that small contract that you were talking about, because the previous team for both of those guys is picking up the tab on the guaranteed money that they owe them. That allows you to say, look, this guy's
But that's why I feel like, honestly, like, you have to have both play in this situation. Because if you don't know which one's going to start, then if one gets injured, the other one, that if he doesn't play as much, is not going to have
with a Malik Willis type deal, right? Yes, he's making a ton of money, but they're paying all that. We're paying the veteran minimum, so that allows you a little bit for that. And also, you've got in guys like Michael Penix and J.J. McCarthy, somebody to push them, right? And to see how they respond, because this is a high-pressure job to be an NFL quarterback, and sometimes a little bit of competition can help make that happen. And when you can get that at a high level for a low salary, that really helps you in that regard. So I'm looking forward to both of these competitions.
Yeah.
Time now for Active Moves, presented by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. And boy, were there some moves across the NFL this week. Take a look at just some of the players who got big-time paydays while joining new teams in free agency. Mike, as you look at this board, we got a lot of edge rushers, maybe some surprising names. What jumps out at you?
What jumps out at me? Well, Tyler Linderbaum's deal jumps out. I'm still curious if the Raiders would have gone that high knowing Max Crosby was coming back. I'm going to go with no. But you hit him with that much money in a tax-free state, by the way. How is Baltimore ever going to compete with that offer? No chance on that one. So Tyler Linderbaum getting that deal done, super impressive. More power to you, more money to you. Good on you.
They misheard him?
Hard to believe that you go back 8 years, and the biggest free agent contract we could remember at the time was Kirk Cousins getting 3 years, $84 million, basically fully guaranteed. Now, 2026, we have a center making essentially the same money on the same contract structure. That's where we have evolved to here. Okay. I'm going to say Malik Willis. The fact that Malik Willis is on that list, given how few passes he has thrown in the NFL, huge task ahead of him. It's a 2-year commitment for the Dolphins. Will make $45 million over the next 2 years. But this is a guy who's thrown a grand total of 155 NFL passes, 35 last year. He completed 30 of them. That certainly matters here. But once again, as much as that's a lot of money to commit to somebody, it's also a quarterback. And if Malik ends up being the guy, you got him at a pretty much cut rate for a 3-year contract here. Jeff Hafley, John Eric Sullivan, they know exactly what they're looking for from Malik Willis. They had familiarity with him in Green Bay.
But I did see him post a scripture about like after he got drafted.
Unbelievably fascinated to see exactly how this entire thing plays out. We know this, the Titans are going to look different in 2026, not just because they're free agent additions. They're literally going to look different. They're going to look like the Houston Oilers, let's just all say it out loud here, unveiling their uniform uniforms last night for the next season.
That's
I like
their
them.
actual.
I dig it. I think it
always
looks good. Kind of like our guy Cam Wolf, always bringing the heat on the fashion front and always bringing us information around the league. Cam, you've been talking to people all week amidst the free agency frenzy. What do you got for us?
That's Jason.
Well, let's start in Tennessee, where, by the way, I love those new uniforms. As a University of Houston grad, feels very much Houston vibe, but I like it for the Titans. Let's start with Tennessee, where the Titans had a big free agency period, but maybe their biggest news is their starting quarterback, Cam Ward, is back throwing the football. He resumed throwing this week with his personal quarterback coach, Daryl Colbert Jr. in Nashville. This was the plan. Last month was about building that lower body up. This month, he was cleared to throw, coming off that sprained AC joint, and he should be good to go for off-season workouts. And look, he chose to be in Nashville all off-season, one, so that he could work on his rehab, but also so that he could get more time and getting comfortable with Brian Daboll's system. He really wants to get ahead. He knows that the offensive coordinator is going to allow him to be a playmaker. He loves what he did with Josh Allen in Buffalo and thinks that they can unlock some of those same things in year two. And then he gets a few more teammates to play with. The Titans were one of the most active teams in free agency, and he has a new number one target in Wan'Dale Robinson, a guy that Daboll had a lot of success with in New York, 90-plus receptions in back-to-back seasons. Now Ward has a weapon. Now he has new uniforms to wear, and maybe the Titans are going to be much more competitive than they were last season. Now, let's go to the Carolina Panthers, who may on paper have the best free agency of any team so far. They ended up finishing their big three of additions by adding left tackle Rasheed Walker. Our insiders reported it earlier, and I can tell you that that deal was worth up to $10 million with incentives. The base salary is lower. And look, this is a great value for the Panthers. This is a guy they thought was going to be too expensive for them early on in the process. From what I understand, teams were scared off a little bit about the big deal that Dan Moore, the Titans left tackle, signed last year, and so his market didn't get the number that he wanted. So the Panthers were able to swoop in, and there's a really good chance that Walker is the week one starting left tackle with Ike Ekwonu still dealing with that patellar tendon rupture, and so he provides himself, Walker, an opportunity to potentially get a big bag in 2027 if he plays well. The other two pieces, one we're showing there, Jalen Phillips. The Panthers thought he was the best player in all of free agency, and they landed him along with linebacker Devin Lloyd, who is going to be the center of their defense. General manager Dan Morgan had a great free agency for a team that is a playoff contender and should be the favorite in NFC South.
That was good.
And let's go to Jacksonville to finish it up, where there's been a lot of speculation on Brian Thomas Jr. trade talks. General Manager James Gladstone addressed it this past week and said that, look, we have not got any offers. We have not had much dialogue. And more than anything, this speculation is creating an impact on Brian Thomas Jr.'s mindset. And look, I checked around the league. One AFC team told me they called Jacksonville about Brian Thomas Jr., and they told me it went nowhere. They said there's no discussion going on from there. And I quote, I don't think they're trading him. So I get it. Some people are still skeptical. Are they using this for trade value? You never say never. If they get bowled over by a trade offer, maybe things change. But I do think they view him as a big part of their offense going forward. As we talked about, Travis Hunter is going to play full-time cornerback, part-time wide receiver, and they liked what they saw from Brian Thomas Jr. in the second half of the season, even with Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington breaking out.
Always wild. Every time we talk about the Jaguars 2025 season, it's, oh yeah, and Travis Hunter will be back on a team that rolled in the AFC South a year ago. Cam, great stuff as always. We'll talk to you again soon. Tons more to come tonight on the Insiders, including Adam Rank's take on these guys. Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson, skullduggery at its finest. Rank's got takes. You do not want to miss that. And after this, we will talk to Travis Etienne Jr. Yes, that's right. Not Etienne, not Etienne, Etienne. He's going to tell you all about it and tell you how to say his name right for the first time in his NFL career. When he joins the Insiders next.
Someone from Etienne. He trying to confuse me, bro.
Free agency has been a frenzy in New Orleans. Take a look at some notable names departing, but also some big-time additions.
They ain't getting nobody back.
Nellis, tight end Noah Fant, guard David Edwards on a huge deal, and probably no one bigger than running back Travis Etienne Jr. signing officially now a 4-year, $52 million contract. He gets the handshake from Kai Harley. More importantly, he gets a new home back in his home state of Louisiana. And he gets to join us right now. Travis, thanks a lot for being here. I want to start out by pointing out the obvious. No, I'm not confusing you with the Dolphins running back. I'm not mispronouncing your name. It turns out we and the entire world have mispronounced your name your entire adult life. So please, for the first time, introduce yourself to the world and tell us how you're doing down there in New Orleans.
Like shit.
Yes, sir. It's Travis Etienne Jr. here. Really feels exciting to say that, but I'm just honored and humbled and blessed to be in this moment and excited to be a Saint.
Are you saying that because
I'm looking this up here because I want to see because we get pronunciation guides every year, so I want to see if they were telling us the right way to spell it. E-T-N. That's the way they told us in the pronunciation guide. So they've been getting it wrong. We will make that change. We are happy to have that change. Was it just?
I'm so lost.
Did somebody ask you about it at the press? How did that wind up coming up today?
So they asked me about it at the presser because they followed me when I was here in Genesee, Louisiana in high school. So obviously they know like where I came from, where it started, and when I left, everyone noticed the change. So that was the first question they asked me.
Maybe he changed his last name to that, I guess.
So, Travis, you take me back through the process. It was pretty fast on Monday. The negotiating window opens literally hours later. You're headed to the Saints. Was it as simple as coming back home and taking the biggest offer, or just bring me through your thought process of how you ended up there?
My thought process was, my thought process, it was coming back home, honestly. But also, I feel like they have a great group of guys. They have a great thing here. And I feel like we're looking at the division they have here. I feel like we're primed, we're ready. And I feel like there's missing the key spots, a few key spots. And I feel like I like what Coach doing. You got Coach Moore, who's been in the Super Bowl, who's just won a Super Bowl 2 years ago.
They do got my boy Keelan Moore, bro.
So he knows what to expect. He has a great blueprint, and I feel like the pieces you have Tyler at quarterback, you have a library receiver, so you have pieces here, and you have a great defense, and I feel like it just kind of it gelled all at once, and I feel like I'm just happy that I was able to be in this moment.
I had some personnel guys and some coaches that I've talked to recently because we heard that you might be in play in New Orleans. And I said, well, that's interesting. They said, no. That's the kind of running back that's going to thrive in that scheme. He can give you a little bit of downhill. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's Saquon Barkley-esque. I don't want to compare you two, but...
Huh? You pushing now. Yeah, I don't know you got that from. Yeah, you are.
Coming from as far as your fit in the scheme for Kellen Moore?
Saquon Barkley.
Yes, sir, most definitely, man. Whenever you have coaches that believe in you, that's all you can ask for as a player. And I feel like Coach sees things in me, I'm going to go out there and make things happen for him. And I feel like he has a great plan, and I'm just ready to go out here and put the work for it and just really introduce myself to the world again, and show him what I'm about.
It's also the first time in like 8 years you've had to introduce yourself to a new quarterback. Trevor Lawrence, your quarterback at Clemson, and then in Jacksonville. What was it like meeting Tyler Shough, and how hard was it to say goodbye to a guy that you've spent your entire career with?
Yeah.
Damn.
Now, I feel like the goodbyes, man, it's really going to hit us whenever we step on that field, and we're not, we're looking around and we're not seeing each other. Yeah. But I feel like Tyler, he's a really great guy, I feel like I'm excited to see his growth, and I feel like he's hungry, and that's all you can ask for a quarterback.
Trevor Lawrence is definitely better than him.
And I feel like he's definitely accelerated his process. I'm just excited to watch him work and get to learn him and just be able to understand, get his feel for him, because it's a difference. Whenever you with a guy for 8 years, you kind of just know him inside and out. So getting to know the quarterback again, I feel like it's different, but Tyler's going to make it an easy process, and I feel like I'm happy he's my quarterback.
We've had a few
kind of reading the script if you look at his eyes.
Homecomings in free agency. We just had one last night. Jaquan Briskers from the Pittsburgh area. He went back there. You returning to Louisiana. How much of that was a factor here? I know it's a business. I know it's about the money. And I know it's about fitting in the offense and all that stuff. Was going home just the cherry on top?
It was more than a cherry on top, man. It was the cake, the cherry. It was everything, Just having an opportunity to be able to play for the Saints, just growing up in Louisiana, being a Saints fan my whole life, and being able to be blessed with this opportunity, man. It's like, I feel like it was more than a cherry on top. It was everything.
So give me your most vivid memory of watching the Saints growing up. You were pretty young during the Super Bowl time. What do you remember? What pops out? What names, what plays?
I was pretty young, but my most vivid memories just come from Deuce McAllister and Reggie Bush, that running back duo. And I feel like that's kind of what driven me and my brother to pursue running backs, you know.
Yeah, bro.
And, just for us to have this full circle moment and me be able to come here and be able to.
Who is Travis Etienne Jr.'s brother? Joe Siri. Who is Travis Etienne's brother? Trevor?
Chase their goals, chase their stats over all these years. I'm forever grateful.
That's beautiful. Look at that, man. It's all about family. Your brother and your family
son,
right
his
there.
His name is actually Saint.
Really?
Well, his brother?
I'm forever grateful.
That's beautiful. Look at that, man. It's all about family. Your brother and your family
son,
right
his
there.
His name is actually Saint.
Why do you say your brother?
Really?
His name is Saint?
All right.
Really, yeah. He's 11 months.
Saint
His son.
There you go.
April 3rd.
Beautiful. Saint H.N.
It was a dream come through.
I love it, man. That's great. All that stuff's fantastic. Now, real quick, I know you're a watch guy. I heard you. You got the nice fat AP? Contract now. What watch are you going to buy yourself to celebrate?
Buy your AP, Twine.
I've been looking at a Sky Dweller.
Get the fuck out of here.
So I've been looking at one of those, you know.
That nigga's
so I'm thinking like with the white and the gold and the black face, you know, Saints theme. So I feel like I want one of those.
See, he's got it. He's got it, Tom. He doesn't need no help. He's got it.
He's lying, bro.
All right, last thing real quick here, Travis. I should quickly mention.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was saying the reason I like Rolex is because like you can configure your own watch.
Rolex?
So I feel like that feature is amazing in itself.
Oh,
yeah. We're going shopping.
The last time you played a full season in the state of Louisiana, senior at Jennings High School, you ran for 2,459 yards and 39 touchdowns. Can you approach those numbers your first year back there with the Saints?
Absolutely not.
Hey, so when I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said those stats. I'm definitely chasing those numbers first year here. Definitely chasing those. I need to write them down so I vividly remember what I'm chasing each and every morning I wake up.
There's your fantasy pick.
Travis Etienne Jr., know the name, love the name, repeat the name out loud so you call it correctly in your fantasy draft this fall. Travis, thanks a lot for being here, man. Congrats.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Still more to come here on The Insiders, including the visit from our buddy Adam Rank, who has thoughts on Max Crosby, the Ravens, the Raiders, and all the fallout. You don't want to miss a Friday night Rank rant. That's next on The Insiders.
Alrighty then.
It's real.
Got Kyler Murray and Jay Jettis.
These guys are now teammates. Justin Jefferson and Kyler Murray will be leading the Minnesota Vikings in 2026. That is, of course, if Kyler beats out J.J. McCarthy for the QB1 job. And then we'll be talking about
it's crazy to think, like, when those pictures go around, like, stuff like this happens in the NFL, that niggas might actually be teammates, bro. Like, even if this was AI, like, I know it's not, but if it was AI, just imagine somebody making this an AI picture and then they end up actually being on the same
2026 that is, of course.
They probably didn't even know they were going to
J.J. McCarthy for the QB1 job.
We'll you never know
about a ton this summer. Time now to go inside with NFL Fantasy Live and our guy Michael F. Florio with me, Tom Pelissero, and Mike Garafolo. Let's talk some free agency fantasy grades. Florio, let's start right there with Kyler.
Yeah, Rank might have called him Mr. 5'9". As someone who is 5'9", I root for fellow short kings. I'm giving this an A as a fantasy fit. I think it was the best case scenario for both sides. It is a quarterback upgrade for Justin Jefferson and the Vikings. I think Kyler's going to win the job, and I think if so, Jefferson remains a first-round fantasy pick. But as for Kyler himself, he has finished as a QB1 in every full year he has played and has been top 12 in fantasy points per game every year except for last year. Now he gets a system and a weapon upgrade. This looks like a good fit tendency-wise between him and Kyler and KOC. So I think he's going to be cheaper than ever in fantasy, which means I'm going to draft a whole lot of them.
Just to be clear, you're normal sized. He's small for an NFL quarterback, but you're right on the average height at 5'9" for the American male. Just to be clear. Rappaport on the other, he's not here. I'll let it go.
That's what everyone wants to be.
Malik Willis. Let's talk about Malik Willis. What's your grade on this one?
All that now. I give it a C for mixed reasons, right? Like, I love the fit for Malik Willis himself. He gets a chance to start, I believe, all year, which I think like his median outcome would be a QB1 finish. His ceiling, though, because of what he could do with his legs, top 7, top 5. I don't want to say higher, but maybe higher. So why am I giving this a C? I don't love it for the other Dolphins, right? Willis at the last 2 years has thrown running backs at the lowest rate. Compared to Tua, who did so at the second highest rate. No running back in that span has more catches than Achane. And while I like Willis, he's unproven, which adds some risk to Jalen Waddle. So for me with the Dolphins, it'll probably be Willis or bust this year.
Damn.
One of the surprise moves in all of free agency. Mike Evans no longer a Buccaneer. He didn't chase the money. Seems like he was chasing a ring. What about from a fantasy perspective? Can he help you get a ring?
I think so. I'm giving this an A because you could argue this is a quarterback upgrade. It most certainly is a system upgrade, though. We have seen for years Kyle Shanahan elevate wide receivers for fantasy purposes, and Evans will be the clear-cut top target there, especially in the red zone, which I think is obviously what you're drafting Mike Evans to be. The 49ers ran the 4th most plays in the red zone last year, and Purdy has a touchdown percent of 7% or higher in 3 of his last 4 seasons, showing they will throw a lot when they get near the end zone. I think you can have a Devontae Adams like resurgence. Just stay away from that power plant. We need you healthy and playing a full 17 games this year.
That joke doesn't get old for some reason. And some people are saying it's not even a joke. Where are we? Mike, I'm curious about this one because I have thoughts on a regular football perspective, but a fantasy football perspective. Michael Pittman Jr. to the Steelers.
I'm giving this one a D. I don't like it. Look, both Pittman and Metcalf are coming off of down years, and I don't really love their chances of bouncing back because I'm operating as if Aaron Rodgers is going to be their quarterback again, and he hasn't really aired the ball out since the last time that he won an MVP, so chunk plays are harder to come by. That's why I didn't think DK seemed like a good fit last year. Now, I do think Michael Pittman Jr. could be a better fit because he's really strong on short to intermediate targets, but like Metcalf struggled to get consistent volume in this offense last year. Now you have an even bigger target threat. I think it could be something where they're just inconsistent and eating off each other's plates week to week. I don't really see myself drafting a ton of Steelers this year, but hey, I do think they will outlive where I'm going to rank them.
They're just 2 stars.
All right, how about our new friend from the show, Travis Achane Jr.? Yes, Travis Achane, like formerly known as
I can see them being like heavily involved in like plays.
ETN,
everybody,
like people who didn't know. Travis Achane Jr. is a saint. What's the grade, Florio?
On the team and shit.
2 running backs named Achane is not going to get confusing at any point in our fantasy shows this year. I'm giving this one a B, right? I think he is a great fit for the Saints. Last season, ETN ranked better than Alvin Kamara in basically every single metric as a runner and as a receiver, and we know that is really what has made Alvin Kamara so special. But it's also the system. Like Kellen Moore helped lead Saquon to his historic season 2 years ago. His offenses have finished top 10 in rushing yards in 4 of his last 7 seasons. I think he is a top 20 running back with RB1 upside, especially if they move on from Alvin Kamara. So ETN, HN, I'm excited to draft him. That's all I know.
Travis Achane Jr. Memorize it. Love it. Live it. Florio, thank you very much. Still more to come here on the Insiders. Include a visit to USC Pro Day. Kai Lemon, one of the stars of the show. Bridget Condon caught up with that guy, Lincoln Riley. See it next on the Insiders.
My brother, my boy Lemon dude.
The NFL Draft is just 41 days away, which means the countdown is on for teams to finish their evaluations of all prospects. Check out some of the notable upcoming pro days.
Maybe like new players from these teams could like get offers and shit.
Jeremiah Love at Notre Dame on March 24th. Fernando Mendoza and company at Indiana on April 1st. USC's pro day occurred on Thursday. That's where our Bridget Condon caught up with Lincoln Riley.
Lemon, Jacoby Lane.
Condon caught up with Lincoln Riley.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what pro day is, but I'm here.
Makai Lemon just ran his 40. What are teams getting in a receiver like him, whoever drafts him?
Who this is, though?
Yeah, I think they're getting a complete guy. First and foremost, he's a really smart player. You see all the plays that he makes, but a lot of people don't see behind the scenes how mentally strong, the football intelligence that you have to be able to do all these different things well. And in terms of all the receivers we've been able to coach throughout the years, his football intelligence is certainly towards the top of the list. And I think that's where it starts. The guy loves to play the game. He's got a flair for the dramatic. He's a tough physical player. And I think he's a guy that, as you talk to these different teams, he could fit in at any system, I think, any team, and I think that's what makes him so valuable.
There's so much speculation this time of year. Guys are dissected by analysts, scouts, teams, but Makai best. Who is he?
What teams?
Makai's a team guy.
But I feel like college coaches, you got to realize, bro, they really be making these receivers and, just players in general, the best they can be on the field.
He wants to win.
You know what I'm saying?
He's a really good person. He's a great teammate. He was beloved in the locker room here at USC. I've known him since he was a freshman in high school. And I've seen him grow throughout the years. He's gonna. He's gonna be
remember,
himself.
all these coaches are high school. I don't know about that, but the high school coaches to the college coaches, bro, they knew you from when you was a little kid, damn man. First starting puberty,
he's one of those guys that when he walks in the door every single day, you know exactly what you're going to get. And I think that consistency, I think that reliability is one of his greatest attributes, and I think it's what's made him the player he is today.
One of his friends on the team, another receiver, Jacoby Lane, raised his draft stock at the NFL Combine. What's something about him that teams might be surprised by, and have you been surprised that now everybody's giving him a little bit of attention?
A little bit. I think once people get around him and they see his personality, he's got a really magnetic personality, unique way to be able to communicate with people. And then you see, obviously, the skill set matched with that on the field. He can just do some things on the field that most people flat out can't do. And I think he's continuing to just grow in every way, off the field, on the field. He had a great progression here at SC, his best year right here at the end. And I think that's just going to continue because he really has an unlimited ceiling. Of all the guys out there in terms of potential and what he can do, he's really, really unique. And so, for teams to be able to see that at the Combine and throughout this process, for teams to be able to sit down with him and see how he communicates, how he learns, I think you're going to have more and more teams interested and be excited to watch his progression.
One of your former players, quarterback Caleb Williams, just arrived to support his former guys that he knows here at USC. What did you see from him this season? How fun was it to watch him kind of take off with the Bears?
It was awesome. I think it shows
that is kind of crazy
at all levels of football, especially.
But I feel like y'all NFL players, y'all got to keep in contact with y'all college coaches and high school coaches and shit, bro.
That level,
and try and bless them
how important it is for the organization to be aligned, to have the right people in the right places. I think, Caleb's confidence with Ben coming in, the job that he did there, some of the pieces that they added, you could just see that grow. And listen, that's part of it. A lot of times when you're the first pick, and we've been able to have a few of those, you don't always go into maybe the most advantageous situations. You're going to be challenged. You're going to go through some adversity. And the key is you got to learn from it, and you got to get better. And I think Caleb's gotten better. The organization around him has gotten better, and they're primed for some pretty cool things in the future.
Just give you a little shout out behind. He waved as he walked by. What's it like, real quick, just for
the future?
Just give you.
There goes right there.
The organization around him has gotten better, and they're primed for some pretty cool things in the future.
Just give you a little shout out behind. He waved as he walked by. What's it like, real quick, just for guys to see him come back, and especially on a day that is so important to these guys out here competing?
That means a lot. It means a lot, and that's part of the culture that we want here at SC. One of the great things we have is all of the great former players, kind of past and present, and really the brotherhood that's been created here. And so, those guys wanting to come back, be supportive, whether it's somebody that's still playing like Caleb or it's some of the previous generations, the Marcus Allens, the Ronnie Lotts, and so on down the list. Having those guys here around our program is everything. It's one of the things that makes this place special. So really cool to see Caleb and some of our other former greats out here today.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. Solid shot players, man.
How high will Makai Lemon go in the
April 23rd, man.
Draft. What about Jeremiah Love? We got a pretty good idea where Fernando Mendoza is going to go. 41 days away.
They said Mendoza was supposed to go to the Raiders.
NFL draft kicks off Thursday, April 23rd in Pitt.
All right, bro. Shout out to So Fresh, So Clean NFL. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. So, a little prayer, man. Lord, protect everybody watching this. Protect all these NFL players and help them make it to their teams and just make a living for their family. Help them be able to be safe and, not have injuries and just be able to, perform for their teams. Have my teams be able to win championships this year or when the football season starts and the NBA season's over. And just have everybody watching chase their dreams. For me, it's YouTube, but for everybody's watching wherever their dreams are. And just help us all stay healthy and make the best out of this life. We love you, Lord. We're going to give you all the glory. You just have my name. We love you. We're nothing without you. Just already. Well, y'all, man. Just so y'all got like 2 more videos today, man. Y'all stay safe, man. Peace out.